Talk to me a little bit about how you came to be a part of the show, because I think I read you were interested in playing a brother or one of the sons, maybe?
I read the script and I was like, look, I'll do anything to be a part of the show. I assumed I'd maybe be possibly one of his kids, or wanted to be one of his kids. But I also really loved Rip, and Taylor Sheridan was incredibly clear that he knew exactly who he wanted to cast, and it was not me for any of those characters. But he did say, like, I have this idea, and I'll get back to you. And a few weeks later, he said, hey man, can you get on an airplane tomorrow? I want to do some flashbacks telling, you know, John Dutton's story 20 years earlier, with the death of his wife. And I was on the plane the next morning, and was in awe to be there because of the horses and the land and the thing that Taylor was trying to do at that point. But also, Yellowstone was nothing then, meaning it was not a success. It was a show that didn't exist, and so there was no weight to it in terms of the fan response or in terms of the love people have for it. So it was really about figuring out how to, be a young version of this character, and then obviously that has emerged into something very different. Taylor did tell me 5 years ago the show in the 5th season will have a lot of flashbacks. And I thought he was crazy. I didn't think there was ever going to be a 5th season. Like I sort of laughed and went on with my life, right? But then when he called me earlier last year and said, here we are, now writing the flashbacks I told you I was going to write, and they're going to tell, the deeper, different stories that are going on. Of 20 years earlier, basically, and it's one of the most interesting challenges I've had as an actor, easily. Yeah.
How does it feel having your show honored at PaleyFest?
It's obviously you have the best television in the world here, right? I mean, you have every great show, and it shows, from what I understand, are desperate to be part of this festival. It's almost like, in a way, the Oscars of television, and here we are at the theater they host the Oscars at, so it's a great honor, easily. Yeah.
Would you be down for a spin-off of their period of time?
I mean, I would love to do it, without a doubt. Partly because I love the universe too. I love watching it. I love seeing what Harrison Ford's doing, what Bass Reeves that's going to come. That's these versions of the time of the ranch and the family, and it's because I'm so invested as a fan, as an audience member, but also more so because I have this responsibility and great challenge of playing this guy who has, the weight of the world on his shoulders to keep this ranch together and keep the family together and all the different things that make people love the show. I mean, at its core, I think the show is a love story. It's a love story of a family and land. It's a love story between Beth and Rip. It's a love story between Kevin and his children. And it's also on a bigger scale. It's a love story of this group of actors and crew who all came together to tell this thing. They're all still there, meaning like all the crew is the same crew that was there in the beginning. Everyone is deeply passionate to tell the story, and they all get to do the other versions as well. And it's the only thing about being locked in as John Dutton. I'm not going to probably be in the other versions, but I wish I could be. So I'd love to do it.